Welcome back to the Sonic Locker Room. This is Bill Althouse of Sideliner Sports, and we're celebrating our 18th year bringing you the best and the brightest from Eastern Jackson County and the metro area. And it's going to be so much fun visiting with our good friend Patrick Dent, track and field coach from Pleasantville High School. He's got two of his outstanding runners, senior Laura Irwin, sophomore Jordan Sheets, and coach, 18th year of the Sonic Locker Room, 43rd year of being a sports writer at the Examiner. Retired last year. Now I'm doing a lot of freelance work for them, and it never fails to happen. Horrible weather the first week of spring sports. How do you handle that?
You just kind of got to adapt because you've got to get those 14 practices in before the meets, and like every school around the area, they probably have 16. Maybe even 15 practices before that first meet. So regardless, you tell the kids, you're like, hey, we have to do this. We have to get in shape. And so it's just part of being in a spring sport. It's going to be hot by the end, and it's just unpredictable in the beginning.
And you can say that about every sport. I've covered football games when it's 94 degrees and wearing every layer of clothing I can find when postseason comes, and you got the freezing temperatures, and get a little bit of a break during the winter sports season, but it's just great. Laura, everybody competes and practices in the same weather. What do you do to beat the weather?
Just layer up and always be prepared. Have my umbrella and all my trash bags and my socks.
Oh, I tell you, the life of a high school athlete in Missouri. Laura, how many years have you been competing in track and field?
5.
So you started in 8th grade?
Yeah.
What what appealed to you about track and field?
I don't really know. I just thought I was fast, and I was like, well, I guess I'll try it.
Well, it certainly worked out as you have a full ride academically and athletically to Central Methodist University. The events you compete in are so varied. The 4x2, the 4x4, the 300 hurdles, and the 200, which to me, you talk about the 1600, 3200, you talk about this race, that race. I mean, for a full-out sprint, 200 yards, how demanding is that event?
It is just something else, honestly.
Yeah. And I don't think people even think about that. But someone will say, what's your favorite event? And I'll say, you know what? There's nothing more demanding than the 200, and they look at me like I'm stupid. How do you run a 200? Do you have a lot of confidence in your kick? Do you want to get off to a great start? What's the game plan?
Honestly, just get out as fast as I can to beat them to the curve, and then pray I have enough to finish on the home stretch.
What leg do you run in the 4x2 and 4x4?
The 4x4, I run the second leg, and the 4x2, I run a bunch of them. Okay. How much time will you spend during a practice? Since usually, in most events, you're not only going to be receiving the baton, but you're going to be handing it off. And boy, if you can shave some seconds off there, that's just huge. How much time do you work with your relay teammates? Honestly, probably the whole day before we go and compete. Definitely until we get it right, until we're satisfied with the outcome.
Track and field is such an individual sport, except when it comes to relay events. How cool is it to share a relay event with 3 teammates?
Honestly, it's amazing getting to share the victories and the anxiety and just everything, warming up with everyone, just getting to share that. It's awesome.
And the 300 hurdles. Girl, do you like excitement? I've seen some crazy stuff happen in the 300 hurdles.
Yeah, definitely a different race. Nothing like it, in my opinion.
Oh, I know. How how'd you get involved in that? I mean, did a coach suggest it, or did you think, that looks kind of interesting, let's try that?
Well, I used to be a 100 hurler, and then I got to high school, and Coach Dent here was like, "You're not doing that anymore."
Coach, with a talented athlete like Laura, how do you work with her? What suggestions do you make in finding the 4 events that she'll compete in throughout the season and the postseason?
Well, I always talk about it with all my athletes, but, specifically Laura too, like just building the confidence in her that, hey, you can do this. And I think this is where you're going to excel at. This is the events that you're going to be conference champion in or district champion in, and, competing for those state medals. And she's gotten 9 of them. So she's done a pretty great job of, listening to feedback, and she's a great coachable athlete. And it's worked out for everyone, and she's reaped the rewards of her hard work and just the things that she's put in, and she knows that if I ask her to do something that I know that she's probably going to be successful at it, because she's been part of our and I know KU Relays is gone, but she has 2 KU Relay wins in our sprint medley, and she's run different legs on that. And she just did whatever was best for the team, and she's reaped the rewards for that. So,
Laura, have your folks had to build an extra wing onto your house to hold all your trophies and medals?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I bet. Jordan Sheets medaled as a freshman at state in the 4x4. She competes in the 200, 400, 800, 4x4, and 4x8. When you're a part of that 4x8 team, that always kicks off a meet. Jordan, what approach do you take in relay events?
In relays, I usually am just like with my teammates, and like we just kind of lift each other up and just kind of run my race once I get to the baton, and I don't really stress about it, and it usually ends up working pretty well for me.
What leg do you run in the 4x4 and 4x8?
I usually run the 3rd leg.
Okay. Same question that I asked Laura. How important is it not only receiving that baton, but handing it off?
It's extremely important. I feel like everybody on those relay teams are really close, which helps us a lot.
Now, we talked to Laura about the 200, the demands there. Basically, the 400, just twice as much pain and agony as you experience in the 200. How do you approach the 200 and 400?
So the 200 isn't my main race, definitely the 4, but I usually approach it with like the same, like start out fast and then just try to kick, especially that last stretch, trying to kick and hold on to whatever you have while maintaining form.
Do you have a lot of faith in your finish?
Yeah, I definitely, something that can always be improved on though.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Well, you're only a sophomore. Come on. State medal as a sophomore. The 800, another demanding race, but it's long enough that you can have a game plan. How do you approach the 800?
The 800, I take the first lap out pretty fast, and then my main thing is just holding on the like last back stretch and then trying to kick the last 200 meters.
What do you enjoy about track and field?
The community around track and field is really like great, and like I love being with all of the girls, and then also just running in general is fun for me. So, yeah.
Patrick, what do you hope for Jordan this season and the next 2 seasons?
Well, I hope she just keeps improving, keeps PRing, achieving the goals that she wants. And I know she has some lofty goals, and I don't think they're lofty enough, honestly, because, she just keeps progressing and putting in the work and putting in the time. And so, just keep working at it and, be one of those on the Mount Rushmore of Pleasant Hill track and field girls. It's pretty filled up right now. There's pretty great names that have come through here in the last few years that, have really left their mark. So,
well, Coach Patrick Dent, Laura Irwin, and Jordan Sheets, we can't thank you enough for joining us today. Continued success, and folks, you're always welcome here in the Sonic Locker Room.